Welcome to Faith Stories with Dawn DeMarco Buck. In the same way, let your light shine before others so that they will see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven. Matthew 5:16.
Well, hello, and welcome to Faith Stories. I'm Dawn DeMarco Buck. What is Faith Stories? Faith Stories are Christians from all walks of life who share their stories of faith, hope, and love. And my prayer is that you would come to know your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Well, how do you do that? It's through His Word, which is the Bible. If you need a Bible, please email me at faithstorieswithdawn@gmail.com, and I'll be more than happy to get a Bible out to you. All right, you guys, Fields of Gomorrah by Stacy Herring. This is a dear friend of mine who passed away in September of 2024. It's a book about child trafficking and a teenager who got into a fight with her mom and ran away from home, and she got caught up in sex trafficking. And it's just a really good book. It's about 3 Christian women who are praying and just following God to find this young lady. So check it out. You can get it on Barnes & Noble or Amazon. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with my beautiful guest, Kerri Ballinger. Ballinger?
Ballinger.
Shoot,
Okay.
Ballinger. Ballinger.
Broughton Garage Door Sales now offers you a difference with the LiftMaster Secure View Ultra Quiet Smart Opener with camera, LED 360-degree lighting, and battery backup. Built-in camera adds video and two-way audio communication to the MyQ app. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage anytime, anywhere from your smartphone. Schedule today at broughton.com.
Just simply call Broughton. We open doors for you.
Tavilla Properties, located at 11471 West Sample Road, Suite 17, located in Coral Springs, Florida, for all your commercial needs. Call Jan at 954-341-1632. That's 954-341-1632, or visit www.tavilla properties.com. Welcome back to Faith Stories. If you have any prayer requests, please email me at faithstorieswithdawn@gmail.com. That's faithstorieswithdawn@gmail.com. And welcome back. So, Kerri Ballinger. Sorry about that, girlfriend.
That's okay.
Oh, okay. So, Kerri, I actually met at the studio, and we started talking just very briefly. And she has been through so much in her life. I can't even believe that she's here, that you're here, physically here on this earth. So I wanted her to come on and share her stories of faith and how God has kept her here on the face of this earth, because you're truly a walking miracle, my friend.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, my goodness.
Thanks.
So share a little bit about your childhood.
Okay.
And then let's get into when you really met the Lord.
Okay.
Okay.
So when I was younger, my family and I had moved into, I call it a haunted house. There definitely was something living there.
Something going on there,
yeah,
right?
besides us. And we, I struggled with it. We didn't really know that someone had killed themselves in my bedroom as a child when we first moved in. So my family would always say, just say prayers, just say prayers. And we would go to church. I went to church a lot with my grandmother. And that helped me get through and live in that house for the next 10 years as a child.
So let me ask you this. When did you find out that it was the son who killed himself in this?
Not till years later. We had to do a bunch of research. When we moved into the house, the lady we bought it from was in a wheelchair, older lady.
Right.
She had locked the door to the upstairs and never went back up once her son had killed himself. Never mentioned it. No, you don't have to reveal those things when you sell the house.
Right.
So we just moved in. They renovated the upstairs, and I moved into the bedroom upstairs.
Wow.
So that was kind of the start of where I needed something to guide me, to help me, to find peace, especially at night.
Oh, I bet.
And so I used to always pray, I'm covered by the body and blood of Jesus, and
Absolutely.
please protect this house. And I'd eventually fall asleep when the things would stop happening. So,
Wow.
yeah.
I'm sure oh my gosh, as a child, you're like, how do you process that?
Well, actually, I had trouble processing it. I was trying to tell my teachers, and they brought
probably
me
thought you were nuts, right?
They brought me to a sleep clinic and
Right.
put suction cups on my head to monitor my dreams. And of course, I couldn't fall asleep because I had all these things on my head.
Oh my
But
gosh,
anyway,
right?
it's funny because when I was older, I went back to that house to see if it would still happen, like the things that I was experiencing. And I just even dared it. I was like, come on, but no, they had crosses all in the house. They had locked up my room. No one was allowed to go in
So
my
they
room.
sensed it,
Yes.
obviously,
Yeah,
as well. There was
totally.
a presence there, a darkness
Yes,
that was
for
there.
sure.
And because the blood of Jesus has you, he's got you covered.
Yes, he did.
right?
Since I was a kid.
So you're a child, and so for 10 years you lived in this house, and then
Yes.
what happened?
We moved to Florida, and I became part of a Baptist church,
Okay.
a youth group. There was a man that led the youth group, and I was friends with a girl my age. I still know her and we don't speak anymore, but her
Right.
name lingers
Sure.
in my head will forever.
Yeah.
And she was a cheerleader, very popular, and within weeks I know.
Perky.
Perky, yeah, totally. Within weeks, I noticed she was not
a
wearing
change.
shoelaces. She was wearing raggedy clothes. She wouldn't make eye contact.
gosh.
And all of a sudden, we weren't the friends I thought we were.
Right.
And come to find out, and I didn't find out till years later because she kind of drifted off into her own space, and I changed schools.
Yeah.
So I didn't find out till years later that youth pastor was actually going into her bedroom at night.
Oh my
So climbing, she was with a single mom. And the single mom wasn't paying attention,
No.
and she needed a father figure, and he was that sort of to her.
Predators
Yeah.
are predators, and they know how to target
Yes, for sure.
whether it's a young girl or a young woman
Yep.
or a young boy.
Yep.
They know, and
Yes.
it's so crazy.
So all those things made me question.
Right.
I also have an aunt who claimed to be a born-again Christian, and if we weren't born again like her, we were all going to hell.
Oh, I love those. Those are
yeah.
the ones that are. I want to follow Jesus.
It's-
Yeah, sign me up. No,
Yeah, if
of
you
course
weren't
not.
just like her and
Yeah.
didn't do the things they picketed, they did all
Mm-hmm.
these things. Well, she ended up in jail for trying to blow up an abortion clinic.
Yeah, that's not what Jesus would do.
So all of these little things
Yeah.
kind of seem to want to twist the way God would work in my life, or
Right.
not work at all.
Yeah.
But it actually made me find my way through those things,
It
and
drew you closer
drew
to
me
him.
closer, definitely.
So how did that happen? What was that journey that obviously this is leading all up, and you knew God was there because you were praying as a child.
As a child, yeah.
As protection. But then all these crazy things happened in your life.
Yeah.
And so what happened that made you go, okay, I need to figure out what's going on here, and wanted that relationship?
Well, I think it was my early 20s. My parents they're around, but they weren't really a part of my life at that time. I was struggling on my own, and I had some things just keep happening, and I would run at night, and I prayed, and I said, God, if you're here, I need to know. You need
Yeah.
to show me. You need to help me. You need to find me and show me that you're here. And all of a
Right.
sudden, I had a shooting star across the sky as I'm running, and made me stop in my tracks and cry and know.
Right?
And
He was
yeah.
speaking to you.
Yeah.
And those are the things that you have to realize, that God speaks in many different ways. It could be a song, it could be a person, it could be a shooting star, it could be something crazy like a movie,
Right.
that
Speaks to
resonates.
you.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
And a lot of times we don't see it.
Right.
A lot of times if you're not awake and able to see him, he's not going to appear to you.
Yeah.
So if you have these blockages and negativity and, these questionable actions in your life, sometimes he just isn't there.
Well, he waits until you take that step
Right.
towards him, because he's with you every step of your journey, and he's just waiting for you to invite him
Right,
into
right.
your life, right?
Yes.
And that's what he did.
Right, right.
You were at your wit's end, and I think that's unfortunate. Well, not that it's unfortunate. We have to hit rock bottom, and I say this every week because everybody that I interview, it's like you have to hit rock bottom before you actually invite him into your life. I remember for me, I was sitting on the ground in my bedroom crying, bawling, going, God, why did you allow this to happen? Well, I never invited him into my life.
Right,
Hello,
right.
So that's what happened. So as a result of doing that, what happened next?
I just,
There's a lot that happened.
yeah.
So take it step by step. We
Okay.
have time.
So that was in my early 20s, and in my early 20s, I was bartending my way through college. And
I was bartending in my 20s
Yeah,
too, but I
yeah.
wasn't going to college.
I was working my way through college, and I shut off a neon light at the bar, and I got bit by something that crawled up my sweater and bit me here and bit me in the back.
Did you know what it was?
I found out the day later because it had exploded. I got bit by a brown recluse spider twice, and not too soon right after that, I became type 1 diabetic.
Do you believe that because of that spider bit you?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, there's a cause for everything.
Cause and effect, which your
yes.
business, right? You would.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
There is no one in my family that has type 1 diabetes, no one that even has diabetes, no one that has experienced anything that I have. We've looked back generations to try to find anyone that had to take
Right.
insulin and that kind of thing. There's been like maybe a type 2, but nothing type 1. Type 1s are usually diagnosed between 1-year-old and 5-year-old. I got adult onset of juvenile diabetes. So my pancreas completely stopped working at the age of, I think it was between 18 and 20. And then I was insulin dependent.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
yeah. So
All
then-
because of a recluse
Yes.
brown spider.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Everyone's sensitive in their own ways to
Sure.
different things, and the way that they say the venom attacked my pancreas and shut it down. So now I'm dependent on insulin. So.
Oh my gosh. Wow. So okay. So what happened after that? How did that affect your life? Which I know it affected it big time. But
Yeah. Over the years, I've struggled severely with seizures, and I call them seizures, but they're seizures in different ways. I may not. If you talk to any diabetic, their fear is that they don't wake up in the morning because you go low in the middle of the night, and then you're too far gone to get your sugar back up so that your brain functions normally, that your body functions normally. And people have died that way. I've come very close several times. I'm lucky enough to know God and to know that He has brought me back because I do have a purpose. I'm also lucky enough to have a husband that reaches over and touches me in the middle of the night and can feel that if I'm hot but sweaty or cold but sweaty, he knows that I'm low.
So if you're cold but sweaty,
Yes.
that means you're low?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Everyone's different, because then after, when my blood sugar comes back up, I freeze. So I have to put like on a snowsuit after. So everyone's different, but that's the way my body works. And I know, I've always prayed to God to please keep me here, because I do. At that time when I got married at 26, had children at 30.
But
so
weren't you told that you couldn't have children?
I was told that I couldn't have children.
So
yes.
talk a little bit more about that, because we didn't. You mentioned it, but then we
Yeah.
before the show she had mentioned it, but we really didn't get into the details of that. So
Yeah.
so what happened? How did that happen?
So
well,
when
I mean, we know how it happened, but
Yeah. So when I was diagnosed with diabetes, what they required me to go on was a pump. And back then, the pump was something that even if you unplugged, it was still stuck to you, and like this long wire would be on. And it was at 20, I didn't want to have that, so I wasn't really taking care of myself. I let my body run like crazy. Instead of the normal blood sugar is 1,000. The normal blood sugar is 100, and I was running 1,000.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and running and going to school full time and working full time, and my body got used to that. So when I met my husband, he was like, "Could you put on the pump, please? I would like to have children. I would like to." So at that time, they said I could never have children because I had kind of ruined it with the high blood sugars. I wasn't, regular, and my body was not functioning. And in fact, when I put the pump on to get normal, I'd lost all my hair, all my muscle. I got very sick. I had a deep cough for months. We prayed. We went to church every weekend. Please heal me. Please help me. Please find the way. And that's the way that I got into my business, is because a holistic practitioner was referred to me. I went to him, he looked at me, and within 5 minutes he knew what was wrong.
Really?
So, yeah.
So what happened as a result of that? What did he tell you that you needed to do?
Well, because of the high blood sugars, there's a thing called candida that envelops around your muscles, your organs, gets in your blood, it gets everywhere. And I ended up, he gave me a bath to sit in. And he said, sit in this bath for 5 days and you will be cured. I was like, come on.
Shut
really?
up.
Yeah, right. I didn't believe it either because it was
Of course
my
not.
first encounter with a holistic health practitioner.
Right.
So I put the liquid in the bath, and I know what it is now because now I'm an herbalist. I put the
Right.
liquid in the bathtub, and all of a sudden I had strings coming out of all my arms, my legs, everything.
And was that the candida
yeah.
coming out of your
yeah.
body?
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't that interesting? Because I was asking you if you'd seen The Chosen and the that series. It's excellent. If you haven't seen it, you guys, it's The Life of Christ. You need to go see it. It's amazing. They're on their 5th season now, but they, they talked about the different herbs and how that's how it's supposed to be.
That's how it's supposed to be.
I mean, I don't know derogatory towards doctors, but they don't. Oh, they think prescription medicine, but you don't have to do prescription medicine. You can actually do
Herbal.
herbs to heal you.
Yes,
right?
without a doubt.
Oh my
I
gosh.
believe God put everything on this earth for us to use
Yes.
in a way to keep us healthy and strong. We just don't know how to use them.
No, because
Right.
we've lost that.
Right, we've lost
We
that.
don't have enough holistic doctors, and everybody wants a quick fix.
Right.
Right.
It doesn't happen that quickly.
It never
but
happens
it will,
that way.
It will stay, your health will stay that way longer. You know what I
Right.
mean? You will stay healthier longer than just because when you take a pill, you have side effects, you have symptoms
Oh,
caused
yeah.
by those pills. But with herbs, it heals the inside.
Right.
So those things that are bothering you go away instead of taking a pill, covering it up, and then something else occurs. So
Unbelievable. Okay, so he obviously you did this, and then was it long after that you got pregnant with your first son?
yeah, I got pregnant with my first son when I got all of the candida. It was
a process, of course,
It wasn't.
right?
It really wasn't
No?
that long, and I've never thought about it.
Really?
Yeah, I've never
Okay,
really thought
see?
about
Aren't
it.
you glad
so-
I asked?
Yeah, I've never really thought about that. So it was maybe less than a year later I got pregnant with my first son. I miscarried first, and then I had my first
That
son.
is so common.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm not a mom, but I walked through many miscarriages with like my sister-in-law, my close friends. They all suffered miscarriages, and not just one, multiple. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
So it truly is a gift from God when you have a child, because just to get pregnant and then have a healthy pregnancy is a challenge. So
Yes.
once you got pregnant, were you like, okay, so this doctor obviously changed the course of your life.
Totally.
Because you changed completely
Right.
in what you were doing.
Right,
Because
I
at
had
that
to.
time, you were going to school for what?
I was teaching.
You were teaching.
Yes, I was a
Okay.
nurse first. I was a CNA and an LPN, and then I decided if I did have children, which I prayed for, that I wanted to be home with them. So I went got my teaching degree.
Right, which that makes sense. A
Yeah.
lot of moms do that,
Yeah,
which I
yeah.
think is wonderful because, and if you can do that, right?
Yes, yes.
Because that's not always the case for actually single moms aren't able to do that, or
Right.
maybe they are, I don't know, but it gives you the time to, go to school with your kids and not have to put them in,
Right.
in aftercare, because that's so expensive.
Right.
It's like another job, right?
Right.
Oh my goodness.
I never had a babysitter. I never had daycare.
Really?
We
Okay.
didn't have to do that. Thank goodness. I prayed for my children, and I believe God gifted me with them.
Yes.
And I was still to this day, they're going to be 21 and 17, and they are the joy and the gifts of my life. So,
That is such a blessing.
yeah.
That is such a blessing. And both her sons play rugby.
Yeah.
What I find fascinating is you shared about your son who literally plays for the USA rugby
Yep.
team.
Yes.
And he had a concussion.
Yes.
And you provided a remedy, an
Yes.
herbal remedy
Yes.
to help with the concussion.
Yes.
Which I think is so amazing. More doctors need to talk to you. I'm serious because
It's and I do believe, doctors go through their training,
Yeah.
but they
No, I
don't go
know.
back to the old school ways of how were we healed before the prescription
Right.
came out. So
Right.
what did people do to live? And I know that our longevity is much longer now than, we're living into our 80s and 90s, but back then, how did they even make it to their 50s without prescription drugs? We've always had a diverse culture.
Right.
So what did we do? So that, I believe, comes back to God and God
Right.
giving us the things to heal us. And we, like I said, we are just not educated enough to know that a dandelion has specific parts of it that help cure cancer. I mean, we just don't understand that. You know, we've made Roundup to kill dandelions, yet dandelions, the root, the flower, the leaves, have all specific identities to help the human being.
But I think also people are so busy with life. They don't have the time. But that's what's so wonderful about you and what you offer in your business. Just dealing with people's health issues. You know, I mean, I won't talk about my issues. We won't go there. But no, inflammation. Most people have inflammation in their bodies. And so there's things that you can take that literally will cure you of the inflammation or stave it off. Let me let you speak because you're the professional here. I'm not. So.
Well, when you're doing organic leaves, flowers, roots, they actually heal the inside of the body. They don't just cure. They don't like to use the word cure in holistic health. But to heal, we do heal. And when you know the right mixture and you know the right things to give the person, you know, I analyze people by doing muscle testing and to see where their strengths and weaknesses are and what they need and what they don't need. And, you know, vitamin and mineral deficiencies are, you know, huge, especially in women. And that we have to figure out by doing some muscle testing. But I totally believe in doing things the natural way, the way that God has taught me to do it. And I'm working on fixing my own diabetes naturally.
Which is incredible because you've helped Freddie, who's one of the owners. It's Freddie and Dawn who own this amazing studio. And you literally have helped him bring down his blood sugar, right?
Yeah, it's a hemoglobin A1C. It's a blood sugar analysis over 3 months. And he went, I believe, from 11 down to, and I think he's in the 6s now, 7s, which is normal between 5 and 7.
Okay, so he's in the middle of the road,
and he
which
was
is
on
awesome.
meds, and I think they're taking him off his meds. I'm not sure.
Wow, that's incredible. I can't even believe it. So as your journey with the Lord, and how he's kind of guided you your whole life. How
He really has.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Sometimes it takes an awakening for you to see that he's maybe given you those trials and tribulations so that you learn where your path is, which way to turn next, how to help others, how to fill your soul, how to feel his spirit. And I think that's...
So when you go back to the homeopathic doctor, did he become a mentor of yours?
No, not really.
Really?
No, because he ended up having a tragedy of his own, and some things had happened. But later on in life, after my second child was misdiagnosed with autism, ADHD. He used to bang his head, behavioral issues, all of it. And I have my little guardian angel. She shows up every once in a while. It's an elderly lady with light blue eyes, white skin. She just appears at her, and she is a real person. I swear other people see her. But she's appeared in different people, but the same exact look.
Really?
And we were standing outside the guinea pig store the pet store giving away my son's guinea pig because we had seen 15 doctors, we had done blood work, we had done biopsies, we had done everything, and nobody could figure out what was wrong with him. They were just putting him on medicine, and he looked like a zombie. So I was like, we have to get rid of your guinea pig. And she walked up to us while we were crying outside the store and said, "Oh, honey, I got you." After I told her what was going on, she handed me a card, and it was a innate practitioner, Dr. Nambudaprad's allergy elimination technique, which was created in 1986 to get rid of all allergies, ailments, autoimmune diseases, everything, you name it. So it's just our body, when we have an ailment like that, our meridian lines, our energy lines, our spirit, our mind are reacting against that allergen or that ailment or that food or that environmental factor. And we don't know how to read those signs.
No.
You know, I have a headache, I take a pill, I'm sneezing, I'll blow my nose. But there's things that actually cause that. And it's your body rejecting whatever environmental food or whatever it is. So we went to the innate practitioner, and 7 sessions later, my son was completely cured. Wow. So that's it. When you talk about a
Wow.
path, and God saying, here you go, here you go, here you go. This is what you
Yeah.
need to do.
Hello.
He has sent me my signs. I just wasn't able to read them early on, and I'm finally at the point where I see it very clearly.
Wow, and you deal with such trauma. Okay, so let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Broughton Garage Door Sales now offers you a difference with the LiftMaster Secure View Ultra Quiet Smart Opener with camera, LED 360-degree lighting, and battery backup. Built-in camera adds video and two-way audio communication to the MyQ app. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage anytime, anywhere from your smartphone. Schedule today at broughton.com.
Just simply call Broughton. We open doors for you.
Tavilla Properties, located at 11471 West Sample Road, Suite 17, located in Coral Springs, Florida, for all your commercial needs. Call Jan at 954-341-1632. That's 954-341-1632, or visit www.tavilla.properties.com. Welcome back to Faith Stories. If you have any prayer requests, please email me at faithstorieswithdawn@gmail.com. That's faithstorieswithdawn@gmail.com. And we're back. Okay, so I wanted to go to a quick break, but Kerri, I wanted you to talk about, you are here for a purpose. God has you here for a purpose, and it's kind of like we're going to bow tie it at the very end. What you've walked through with your health, with your diabetes, and how there are times, you guys, that she hasn't woken up and her husband had to call 911, and I want you to take it from there.
Okay. So, yes, it's definitely been a journey with my own health. You don't want your sugar to be high because it causes loss of limbs and fingers and eyesight and all of that. So I'm pretty good at keeping myself normal, but there are times, your body is never regular. It always fluctuates. So there are times where my sugar has dropped below the norm, and at one point they couldn't find my temperature. The ambulance has to be called. They have to do a bag of glucose. And you just don't wake up. You don't know where you are. You don't know who you are. And I remember them asking, and this just happened recently, unfortunately, but I remember them saying, what year was it? And I said, 19, because when your brain doesn't have the sugar to process the information correctly, you're just really not alive. I've walked on the beach and my legs have gone, like my husband's like, what in the heck? You're talking to me. I know you're not low. And I'm like, something happened. I'm on my knees. So it was the sugar that he had to get glucose into me, and that you can take, orally. But there have been times that I haven't woken up, and I know that God has woken me up for a reason.
Yeah. Honey.
Yeah.
You're such a gift. You have no idea. I mean, wow. I'm just so thankful that you were able to come on, Kerri, and share all of that, because that is such a powerful journey that you're on, and that God is still having you here to do that, And so go ahead and give out your email, your phone number, and your website, and then I'll wrap it up at the very end.
My email is wildflowerallergyandherbs.com. Actually, that's my website. And my email is Kerri at wildflowerallergyandherbs. And my phone number is 561-706-4772. And I get emotional about the reason why, I'm here, but I know that I'm here to help other people find their best self, their mind, their body, and their spirit. So,
and God bless you for that. May you
thank you.
continue to do that, and Lord, and I pray you guys, if you need her services, you need to reach out to her, because she offers healing in a natural way, and I just love that about you. So, you guys, thank you so much.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Of course. Yeah. So next week we have Natalie Carlisle. I've known her, oh Lord, I think about 12 years at least. And she's going to come on and share her faith story. She works for K-Love up in Tennessee. So I'm excited to talk to her and see her. And you guys check out my my social media, share, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it because you know this will touch someone's life. And have a blessed week. We'll see you next Wednesday at 3 o'clock.
Thank you for watching Faith Stories, where you will hear stories of hope, faith, and love. Please join us next week, and remember, God meets you where you are, but doesn't leave you where you are.